Hey, what's up guys? Khordmaster here. Welcome to Mastering Chords. Today we are going to be taking a look at 9, 11, and 13 chords. So I had to spend a little bit of time kind of refamiliarizing myself with these chord extensions. A lot of the chords that we typically will see in most songs will be like 3-note chords or triads that we covered already on this channel. And then 4-note chords like 7 chords. Major 7, minor 7. So major 7, minor 7, dominant 7, that type of thing, right? But there are more chords that we want to look at. So this is going to be kind of, what I learned this week. And like I said, refamiliarizing myself, and I'm going to share it with you guys, and hopefully it goes extremely well. Let's do this. Let's erase what we were working on last week. If you haven't taken a look at the Dave Brubeck Quartet tutorial, definitely go check that out on the channel as well. So here we go, right? So we're going to start with C specifically, and we're going to look at C9. Let's look at C9 chords first, right? So we're going to look at like C major 9 and C minor 9 and then C dominant 9. We're going to look at those 3 chords to start, right? So how do we form a C9 chord? So C major 7 chord, let's refamiliarize ourselves with the C major 7. This is a C major 7 chord. We talked about it on the channel already. Now, in order to figure out how to create a C major 9 chord, we have to add a 9 on top of this. How do we add a 9 on top of this? Well, a 9 is actually the same as a second, but an octave up. That's what a 9 is. It's a second. And why is this a second? Because 1, 2. So it's a second, but an octave up. So, okay, right? That is a C major 9 chord. Similarly, a C minor 9 still adds this 9 on top, but it's a C minor 7 triad. Harder to play, a lot harder. I also want you to look at this really quick before we go to C9. So I'm going to play that same chord, but I'm going to play the C with left hand. So look at what we're actually playing here. A C, let's start with the C major 7 or C major 9. So a C major 9 is actually this chord with a C underneath. So what is this chord? This to me looks like a E minor triad, right? With a minor 7 up top. So this is a E minor 7 with a C underneath it. So let's write that down right here. AKA a E minor 7 / C. Got it? So a C minor 9 is the same as a E minor 7 / C. The slash just means play it over C. Let's do the same sort of formula for C minor 9. So that one, it's this. So what do we have here? We have a E flat major 7, right? This is a E flat major triad. This is a major 7. So this is a E flat major 7 over C. Okay? E flat major 7 over C. Let's do the last one. You probably can think. Let me space this out a little bit so we can give us a little more room. But a C9, we talked about dominant chords, right? So if we think about what a C dominant 7 is, it's this. It's a major triad with a minor 7 up top. Let me have some tea. Ah, that tastes so good. Oh my goodness. This is like yogi mindfulness tea. This one says trust creates peace. Cool. All right, so what do we think is happening here? It's this, right? So what's happening here? Okay, so what is happening here? So what is this triad? So this is a E minor we talked about. Sending this 5 down a half step creates a diminished chord that we also talked about. So this is really a diminished chord, but technically, if you want to actually look at it, it's a 4-note chord. So we want to qualify this as a 7 chord like we've been doing. So this would be an E minor 7 flat 5. Okay, E minor 7 flat 5 over C. So let's write that. E minor 7. How do we do flat 5 again? Is it? I think that's how you write it, right? And then over C. E minor 7 flat 5 over C. So these are different ways that we can categorize a 9 chord, right? So C major 9 can be rewritten this way, C minor 9 can be rewritten this way, and then C dominant 9 can be rewritten this way, or thought about that way, right? All right, so if that makes sense, hopefully that does. Let me take a picture of this really quick, and then let's continue. All right, so those are the 9s. Let's take a look at the 11s, right? So if the second up an octave creates a 9, and the easiest way to think about this, honestly, is like 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11. So the 11 looks like it's the 4th, doesn't it? So to create, I'm going to erase this. We got this already. So let's now look at 11s next. Okay. So C major 11, C minor 11, and C 11 is going to be everything that we just did, but it's adding this note up top, right? So this is a further extension here. Now what I read is that the 3rd and the 5th of these chords, the 3rd and or the 5th of these chords can be removed to kind of create a different sound. Let's explore that. Let's experiment with that a little bit. But before we do, let's just understand what we're doing here, right? So this is a C major 11 chord. Every other white note is a C major 11. Let's just listen to how this sounds without the 3rd and the 5th. So a couple things I'm thinking of here, like just the actual chord itself has all of these notes. So let's see what this actually consists of, right? This is a C major 11 can be thought of as 2 triads, okay? So it can be thought of as 2 triads. What are the 2 triads? The first triad is a major, I'm going to write this down. It's a C major plus, just in my own notation, in this case, so it's actually, so what is, this is a B diminished chord, right? So it's a C major. This is B diminished because what? This is B minor. This is B diminished. So let's write that. B diminished. That's my notation, how I want to think of this for now. Maybe in a second we'll also show this as like omitting, if we want to omit the 3rd and 5th. So 3rd, 5th omitted. It's the same situation here. It's just the root note. So you can think of this first note as like the triad of it, or just the note. Maybe that's how we'll kind of think of it for now, right? Without, I don't know if we need to qualify every single variation of it. But let's stick with that for now. C minor 11. Let's see. So we have so let's think if this is actually right and it's for a second. So C minor 11 would be a C, would be this, right? A C minor 7, and then we need to add just the same notes up top, effectively. Let me see. Let me actually confirm this 1 sec. Okay. So this is what we did for C major 7. Oh, so I think it's this actually. So this right here. So wait, I'm confused. I'm confusing myself. 1 sec. So this was the chord. So it's really just adding the 9 and 11 up top. These same two notes. It's these same two notes here, but just it's this right here. Okay, so let's think about this for a second. So a C minor 11, and I hope I got this right, because like I said, as you can see, I'm still kind of like familiarizing myself with these extensions. And this is kind of fun for me because this is what I think it's supposed to be. You're supposed to just kind of learn what you can learn and then try to apply it and teach it like we're doing. All right, so check this out. We have two triads again. The two triads we have this time are a little bit more I don't even know how to. So we have a C minor over B flat major. Let's write it. A C minor plus B flat. That's not a 6. That should be a flat. Let's make sure that is correct and makes sense. So a C minor 11 can be thought of as a C minor plus a B flat major, like this. And then if we take out the 3rd and 5th, this is a C minor. So a C, root note, and then these are the other notes that we're looking at here. Okay, fair enough. It's like going down 2 half steps. So to create a C minor 11, it's like going down 2 half steps from the root and creating a major triad. Is that something that we're going to memorize? Maybe, maybe not, but that's what's happening, right? So thinking about that same formula, taking a root note, going down 2 half steps, and then creating a triad, any root note. So here, so if I wanted to create this chord here of what is this? G flat minor 11 with the 3rd and 5th omitted, we can go down 2 half steps, go up an octave, and create a major. So this should be a G flat minor 11. All right, we're tracking. Last but not least, C11. So dominant. So it's the same thing, except it's just going to be C plus B flat, right? This is just going to be C plus B flat. Okay. So these are our 11 chords. Let's get a pick of this. Bam. Doing it on an angle so that we could avoid a little bit of the glare from above. All right. Next, what are we doing next? 13s. So let's erase. And let's take a look at whatever. I didn't need to erase all of that, but that's okay. That's fine. We're looking at C major 13, C minor 13, and C 13. And you probably guessed it already, but a 13 is 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13. So 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13. So this is a C C, this is a C major 13 chord here. Let's think about how this is formed. All right, so, well, we see how it's formed. Every other white note. And so we can think of this as like a C major triad. And then this, or maybe this is probably better, because I'm thinking about not wanting to deal with diminished. So a C major 7 plus a D minor, right? So a C major 7 plus D minor is kind of what this is. C major 7 plus D minor. Cool. Omitting the third and fifth here gives us what? Third, fifth gives us this weird. So this is a, what chord is this? This is a B minor. This is minor 7. So this is like a B minor 7 flat 5. If we want to think of it that way, but I don't think we need to. I think we're fine with this for now. We just always have to just know that we can take out the third and or fifth if you want. And it's supposed to give just like a smoother sort of sound or something. So like, let's see. So it should give you, this is a C major 13. Okay. What were we saying? Third and fifth? You can always rearrange notes too. Play around with that a little bit. Next, C minor 13. Right? So this is a C minor 13. Let's think about what we have here. In this case, I'm thinking of qualifying this as a, because I'm looking at the last 4 notes, and that's this. So this is a C minor triad plus B flat major 7, right? C plus B flat major 7. See that? Same thing, omitting the third and fifth. Let's hear that. So let's look at this as any other note. So in this case, we're playing to create a C minor 7, we're playing the root note and then going down 2 half steps and creating a major 7 on top of that. So whatever, root note, 2 half steps, up an octave, creating a major 7 with this note. Okay. Right? That's pretty. And what was this again? If you want to create the triad. Okay. C, or root note down 2 half steps. All right, that's pretty cool. Root note down 2 half steps, and then major 7. Root note down 2 half steps, major 7. Cool. And then the dominant. So here, it's the same thing. But wait, hang on. I think this should be a C minor, right? Yeah, this should be C minor, and then this should be C major. Just the same exact thing. C plus B flat major 7 to create a C13. And I think that's kind of it. With this, play around with this a little bit. Just realize that you can always, I know I said it a few times, but you can always omit the third and the fifth. So that's a very important piece of the puzzle. And then, what else? There's one more thing that I actually wanted to show you guys, and that is the add chords. So sometimes you may have an example. Let's just think of 2 quick random examples. You may have a C add 9 or let's just stick with C, I guess, right? C add 9 or a C add, well, that 11 or a C add 13. So let's talk about what these mean. So this just means play this as a triad and add that up top. So the difference between adding a 9 or a C9 or C major 9 or C minor 9 is that when you think about it, the C9, for example, has what? We just talked about it. Has all of these notes. So this is a C major 9, right? But a C add 9, what do you think is going to happen here? Well, we're only adding a 9 on top of a C. This is adding a 9 on top of a C. So let's play around with this a little bit really quick. So, well, it's not much to even think about. It's just a triad and then adding a 9 up top. What about C add 11? What about C add 13? Right? 9. And so the more you do this, the more you'll kind of get kind of comfortable. And the idea of sticking with C just to start with, to teach you guys this, is like with other key signatures, right? So, and we'll talk about this in a subsequent video, but C to G, G to D. So let's look at this really quick. So if we're at D major scale has 2 black notes, D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp. So let's just quickly look at, like, if we wanted to do, I don't know, a D. Let's look at if we wanted to do a D13, something hard, maybe a D13 chord. So let's think about this. So D13 means we're playing, let's think about what we're doing first. We're playing what are we playing? Yeah, a D dominant, okay? A D dominant, right? D dominant. And then we're adding our other notes on top of it. So let's think about what those other notes are again. So it's going to be this up top, right? And then, so you have to really get comfortable with your scales in order to know what's happening here. But essentially, so the last note in this, let me think for a second, right? It's C. Oh, wait. Oh, well, it's dominant. That's why. Okay. I'm just thinking like, okay. So yeah, that's it. So D dominant 7 is what we're doing. And then we're adding a triad on top of that. And the triad that we're adding on top of that is this one. And why is it this triad? Because we're effectively playing the second, and then we're just kind of going up based on the key signature, right? Let's do another one. Like, well, first of all, let's do another one. So that's D13. Let's do like a D major 13. What if you're doing D major 13? So D major 13. Same thing. All right, so that's where we're going to leave today's video. This was a lot of fun. I'm kind of thinking about like doing it this way sometimes, like essentially learning something new throughout the week, because I was excited to film this today, right? I spent time this week studying, researching, doing a little bit of experimenting and reinforcing what I just learned on the piano upstairs, and then wanted to just wake up this morning, take a shower, get some tea, and just chat with you guys about what I learned. So now, with everything that we covered in this series on Fridays so far, we talked about triads, all different types of triads. We talked about all different types of 7 chords, which are 4-note chords. We talked about really the different types of 9 chords, right? I mean, there really aren't any other chords that we need to kind of cover, because we're not going to cover every single variation. And when I say variation, you might see something like C major 7 flat 5. It just means to play what you know as a C major 7, but flat the 5. Take the fifth note, or not the fifth note, but the fifth interval, and send it down. Flat means send it down a half step. So knowing what you know now, we can play any chord from a progression. Now the issue and the thing that we're going to really want to work on and dig into, like for the subsequent videos, is inversions, right? So like, let me show you guys this real quick. And we talked a little bit about inversions before, but if you're asked to play let me see, I don't know. If you're asked to go from, let's just do a quick little thing here, just a preview of what's to come. But if you're asked to go from a C, let's make it challenging, I don't know, C major 9 to A minor 13, right? That's something that's maybe challenging, right? Let's look at this really quick. A C major 9 we know as this. So we're asked to go from this chord, okay, to a minor 13. So what is a minor 13? Well, it's this minor, excuse me. Wait. It's this minor. So A minor 13. I think that's a minor 13, right? And so we went from, so this is actually interesting. Let's look at this real quick. I just kind of randomly picked these, but we're going to also want to know the relationship between relative majors and minors, right? So it turns out that the relative minor of C major is A. And because of that, we could see that the notes in both of these chords are kind of the same. Is that right? Look at this. So, I mean, kind of the same, except there's one additional note. That's kind of what it is, I think. C major 9 to A minor 13. So it's not really a fun progression. Or if we want to take out the third and fifth from from both of these, it's going to be third, fifth out, major 9. And then, yeah, so that's not the greatest example for inversions. We'll talk more about it soon. But the idea is that when we're going from something like a C to a G, we want to be able to do it that way rather than having to jump up, right? And that is something that just takes a lot of practice, just like maybe a lot of areas here. But I'm excited to be the one to teach you guys it. All right, so thank you very much for watching. Like I said, I'm excited about this series. I'll keep it 100 with you guys. In my research and looking at what other chord information is out there on YouTube, it was kind of interesting to me where I'm like, okay, there already are people who, quite frankly, understand this stuff more than I do right now. I am Khordmaster, but there's still areas that I'm learning that I'm still educating myself with. And so I was just kind of thinking, like, I wanted to, not divert anything, but I wanted to eventually, once I build this foundation, I wanted to have a clear understanding on why someone would come and show up for this video versus, and if I remember to do so, hopefully I'll put it in the description, but compared to a video that I watched that talked about 9, 11, and 13 chords that I watched to educate myself. And it was really good. It was like this dude in the top left corner of the video, like 60% of the screen, like over there. The bottom was like the piano, and then the top right was like I think the board or something. So it was really it was nice. It was just a nice video. It was like, and it was super informative. And so I have ideas for sure about the answer to that question, like what bridges the gap, what separates me. And so stay tuned on that. But we talked a lot about gear on this channel. And, the people that I'm kind of, I think, speaking to are music producers who want to integrate like theory into their music to make it just sound so much better. Like, I believe that's my main audience. Certainly there might be people who find this stuff valuable who maybe want to perform and stuff. Like, I like performing. I like playing the piano in front of groups of people and stuff. And so both sets of people could benefit from this for sure. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm really excited about this video in particular. It was like fun to do. It was different. And I appreciate you guys showing up, and hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Have a great rest of your day. Stay creative, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.